And thank you for joining us live. If you're not watching live, you should come back on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, because that's when we do it live, and it's a whole lot more fun. It's pretty cool. We answer your questions. If we don't get to them here, we're going to pop up a community post on our page right at the end of this. You can ask any question you want, and we'll get to that for you next week. So, yeah, we got Thomas in here, and hiding in the corner, special celebrity guest host. Anyone know who this is? First comment wins. Who is that? Who's that guy? Here's a hint right here in the comments. Who is it? Who is it? Come on.
Well, 9 people watching. Nobody's got the answer.
9 people. Somebody knows. 10 people. Somebody knows who this man is.
Oh, Nick Rotolo gets the...
There it is.
Gets
Richard
the
Bilbo
award.
in the house.
Oh, don't show my hand.
So, yeah, Thomas is punching stuff and bleeding all over here.
Yep. That's how it goes.
Waiting for a snake eye. All right, what's up, Natalia? What's up, Nick? What's up?
All right.
Bob Evans, turn up the volume.
What do we want to talk about? What do we want to talk
How does the audio
about?
sound? How does the audio sound?
Is it loud and annoying?
Oh,
Is it
and
fresh?
Fractal, super chat.
Super chat. All right. What's going on?
Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Happy
Simple.
Wednesday to you. Thank you for the super chat.
All right, I'm gonna try to
Appreciate your guys' support.
We're very jerry-rigged on this setup just because we had to switch rooms last minute. So if this shakes like that, I do
That's
apologize.
insulting to the 75% of me that's German. Let's continue.
I think that went over most people's heads, but all right. Let's see. So you can tell them about the community post. Did you say that already?
Yeah, you're behind the times.
Oh, my bad. I was so confused up.
We're
All
changing
right.
them up. We used to do them the
So-
next day. We're going to post that immediately after the end of this live.
Mhm.
So if you guys are like, I didn't answer my question, you can jump on and ask it there. And we have a whole list of your guys' questions from those posts. If you guys want to be included in this, you can actually text me 412-925-1933. Your super chat dance, yourself super chatting. We've had kids super chatting, dogs super chat dancing. It's pretty good time, and every time we get a super chat, I will play yours there.
Wait,
So
hold
that
on,
would
what's
be
your
really
number
fun.
again, so I can put it in the chat.
412-925-1933. It's all over the website too.
Oh, there you go. All right.
So yeah, text it in, and we'll get you guys super chatting, because nobody wants to see me super chat. This should be encouragement enough to do it right there. But Thomas, what do they want to know? What do they want to see?
All right, so first question today. Tristan Calorie definitely came in clutch with a couple questions for us, so thank you, Tristan. Tristan says, can you rank your favorite pure dwarf and super dwarf localities from 1 to 7, with 1 being your favorite, and explain why you rank them?
Oh my
Is
goodness!
that possible? Can we see that?
I don't know if I can do that. What's my favorite
You
locality?
can go like top 3, and then least favorite.
Jeez, 1 to 7. So the 7 he's talking about, you got the 2 dwarf localities. There's a poster with all this information on our website. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. But the 2 like dwarf localities are Jampea and Slayer. The 3 super dwarf localities are Karumpa, Madu, and Kalatoa. And then there's 2 kind of like tweeners, where people love to argue if they're dwarfs or super dwarf. Usually they argue based on the smallest one they've ever seen if they want it to be a super dwarf, or the biggest one they've ever seen if they want it to be a dwarf, because that's the correct way we should do things in life, right? Anyway, those are Tombalongan and Kayawati. So let's see. Gosh, I don't know. I think kind of like my ultimate classic favorite. Richard, do you have a little hook hanging out over there somewhere? We used to have one right in here. I think we got one. Yep, you're getting close. Warmer. There we go.
That one?
Yep, that's it. No, that's good. Yep, perfect. So, probably my classic favorite of all time. Super stoked to breed these in recent history, because they haven't been bred in recent history. But this was one of the first snakes, one of the first exotic snakes I ever had, is a pure Jampea. And they just have like this gravelly, ashen gray. They're super unrelated. I would say Slayers usually get a little bit bigger than Jampeas, kind of like on adult average. So these are a pretty manageable size. The Wildcats always come in like somewhere from 6 to 10 feet. I don't know that I've actually seen a 10-foot Wildcat, but I'm sure they have found them in the wild. In captivity, certain bloodlines have gotten huge when people have tried to like prove that they're not dwarfs by feeding them 3-4 times a week, giant meals. But they were so unhealthy. They died young, couldn't breed, all that kind of stuff. So that was not, I don't think that's inaccurate. That's like saying because there is a human out there that's 2,000 pounds, that humans can get 2,000 pounds. It's like kind of not though, right? So anyway, I love Champeyas. I would say this probably still takes number one. By the way, this list, if you ask me every week, you might get different answers. But I'll run through them there. So there's a pure Jamp. I love the pure Jamps. And then, oh my goodness, in combos, do they look good, right, Richard? Yeah, you got a bunch of Jamp stuff. They're like super high contrast. They're amazing. And for those of you guys that want like kind of the dwarf size, you maybe like a big boa constrictor size snake. We get a lot of people that are like, I still want a big impressive snake. I just want something that's gonna not, that's gonna be predictable in size and not completely, eat me out of house and home and end up weighing more than I do or whatever.
Okay, quick interrupt in the super chat from Zach Bell.
Super chat. What's up, Zach?
He says, what size enclosure do you recommend for my SD Karompa cross after his 3-month quarantine is over? Would a 4x2x2 Zen habitat be suitable?
Yeah, that would be good. I like a little bit deeper and stuff like that. There's not a lot of good options. 4x2x2 is pretty much the biggest kind of like off the shelf in a box cage you can buy right now. But the more space that you give them, the better. I think a 4x2x2 is going to last a very long time. But the answer is always going to be the same. What's the maximum you can give them rather than what's the minimum? If you can give them a giant cage that they can fully stretch out and cruise around, or I've seen people put 2 cages and connect them with a pipe, stuff like that. That's the way to do it. All right, number 2. But the Zen habitats are cool. 4x2x2 is like a great cage. It probably lasts you theoretically your whole lifetime on an animal that's that high percentage. But it's just fun to keep them in something bigger, especially when you have an animal as special as that. Speaking of Karompa crosses, this is a pure Karompa. I gotta say it's probably number 2. And I did not think I would like these guys that much, to be honest with you. They were super rare and very hard to get a group together. So far, we're the only ones that have bred and produced pures. There have been a few other people that have, outcrossed them with stuff. We have some cool animals from one of the breedings with Rick O'Neill that are really nice Karompa Kalatoa crosses. But, we got construction going on in the other room too, by the way. So we're getting ready for a little bit of a shindig this weekend. Stay tuned right here on YouTube for an upcoming episode about that. Right, Thomas?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
This has got to be number 2, though. They are the smallest locality. I love the chaotic patterns on them are insane. I'm super surprised by the captive bred babies, how gold they are, because the adults are very silver. And they seem to be, like, naturally super mellow. We had a little tiny hatchling that usually those are quite defensive. Was climbing up on Thomas over here on his camera and hanging out with them when we were doing a video shoot. And that was after his first shed, wasn't it, Thomas?
Yep, right.
We didn't really have any, like, human interaction. So I'd say, Karompa is probably number 2. Number 3, I think there's a bunch. Like, it would be really hard for me to choose. Like, I love Tombolongans. Oh, my gosh, are they colorful and amazing. The Madus are incredible. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. There's so many things. Like the Slayers are probably they have the most like kind of classic jungle look. Rich yellow heads, bold black lines. They're incredible. Coyotes I think are probably the perfect snake for people who are just getting into them. Good small size, extremely colorful. They make awesome crosses if you want to use different color enhancing genes and put them in there. So those guys are really awesome. I don't know, who am I missing? Did I mention them all? Slayer, Jamp, Tombolong, and Coyote, Madu. Oh, and of course Kalatoas. It's funny. I'm like thinking exotic localities, so I just jumped right over probably the most established dwarf or super dwarf locality in the U.S. is Kalatoas, even though a lot of them are probably misrepresented, and there are fewer like good legit bloodlines that we can be sure are from Kalatoa Island. But those are awesome too. Yeah, great snake. So the trick is the pure localities are it's very rare. You can only get so many sources and put them together to breed them. So they're few and far between. definitely like waiting list type animals. If you ever want to get into it, put some money aside, get on the waiting list with a breeder who has legit bloodlines. It's a lot of, getting pure locality is not the place to go with somebody who's like, it's probably good enough, and that has that attitude. You're probably not going to get a pure. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's where I'm at. I got down to 2. The rest of them, they're all third.
Yo.
I don't know. I really like them all. I really like them all.
Who said? Someone said it's like picking your favorite kid. Bob Evans said it's like asking what his favorite kid is.
Yeah, it really is hard. And honestly, I very much enjoy having the collection where I have different ones, because they have different personalities, different colors, different traits, There's a lot of people who say, I think they're all the same thing, and I think a lot of people don't have them all. So having them all really allows you to have a pretty intimate and cool perspective on just what makes each of them special. So I'm very honored, happy to say that we have that. So
all right, let's jump into our next question.
Let's do it.
Hurt Panel Forums asked, what's something you've learned recently about super dwarves or pythons or snakes in general?
Something I've learned recently? Well, if you back up to recently in general, I've been doing a deep dive into the African house snakes lately. Having a ton of fun with those. Just as a goofy side project for me. They're not goofy at all. They are a really, really incredible snake. Like this, you guys have probably seen her before. This is Jolene. She's our pure KZN locality, Capensis. But they're very similar to the super dwarves in a lot of ways. They actually act kind of similar. They're a little different because they're more fossorial. They don't have the kind of those arboreal attributes, but they have localities, different subspecies, a bunch of different colors and morphs, and you can breed within pure subspecies. You can blend locality influences in there. So I've been learning a ton about those. I'm really impressed, and they're sometimes I'm shocked when I find out how cool a snake is, and I see how underappreciated it is in captivity. I think it's because we can still import those, and when we could still import the locality retics, it was like, I don't know, they were cheap, nobody cared. They'd all rather have an albino tiger than a pure Sulawesi or something, and until you couldn't get them anymore, and everyone was like, oh crap, they were the best, and now I can't have them anymore.
All right, so. I'm gonna adjust some mic stuff. Laura said we're getting some weird static, so if it pops,
maybe it's your fan going.
That might be it. Here, I'm gonna take this off of here, and you guys.
We'll bring you this way. Yeah. We'll just push you.
Sure.
There you go. All right. Let us know if that's any better. Did you just unplug the shotgun mic there?
And I plugged it back in just to check. I'm gonna turn my fans off my computer.
He's gonna cook his computer.
That fixed it. Bob Evans. Thanks, Bob.
New stuff that I've learned about super dwarves. Oh man, I'm in the process of learning and trying to help share that stuff. We have a lot of different studies and stuff that we have in the works that we're kind of doing behind the scenes, and I'm waiting on some different universities and real scientists to tell me what's up. A lot of us like to play science here in the pet industry and argue with each other about stuff we don't know. It's really kind of silly. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to learning a lot of cool stuff about that. The other thing is just kind of learning what my own bloodlines are capable of. We've had surprising... I'm surprised that we got an Anery Karampa out of our breedings. And then that we didn't get, or maybe we didn't get, any Anery Madus out of our last breeding. We had a few that hatched out super Anery looking, and then colored up a little bit with age. So I don't know if they're just hets and we're just not hitting on it or what. But boy, those pure super... I'm shrinking. My chair is shrinking. Going down. That's okay. Ugh. This is Aiden's chair. I don't think it's used to big people.
All right, I'm just gonna throw a question for the audience. Kenzie Mars says.
That's Kenzie Marsack.
Oh, was that
Yes.
Yeah, that's Kenzie. I didn't know her last name. I'm sorry, Kenzie. I just wanted to clarify. I thought it was.
We're hanging with her next weekend. Stay tuned for that episode too.
All right, exactly. It's gonna be a fun one. But she says, "What should I pair to the female ultra ivory I got from you?" Winky emoji.
Oh my gosh, that thing! It's an ultra ivory, but it could be a motley and a tiger too. Richard, you want to help me answer this one? It's 68.75% Kalatoa. Come on over here. It's a Posset snow. You can come in the video. Come on.
I'm right here.
This side. But you're out of the light. See?
Yeah,
Alright.
where it's cool.
Oh, well, that's where it's pretty stinking hot over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you had, so it's a super platinum, right? Because it's an ultra ivory. It's a possible Motley Tiger. Definitely has something going on in it. She'd like to find out what. And then it's a Posset snow. I mean, the thing with it is it's so high percentage. And Ken's comment in the chat, you got my female, right? That was the female that you got. Or was it a male? I don't remember. Because I have a male here, but I think you got my girl I wanted to hold out of that. I mean, at that high percentage, I think you want to stay high. She's not going to produce any normals. I'd be really tempted to just put pure Superdorf to that. Because you might get, like, platinum Motley Tigers that are, like, obscenely high percentage. You know? Even though it'd be coming from the dad side. But, I mean, mom's pretty small already. So, I don't know. What would you put to that? Super platinum Motley Tiger.
The snow.
A snow? Yeah. Wow. Standard answer for everything with Richard. They are cool. The snows are beautiful. We've got one hanging out over here. Come here, baby. I got one handy I can show you. But, I mean, she's a Posset snow, so that would make a lot of sense. You'd prove her out. Cool thing is with females, you can put a different male to them, you know, different years. And I know, Kenzie, you have a male snow, so that wouldn't be a bad one just to prove her out. And then you know what genes you're working with after that. So that would be pretty cool. But the snows are like the albinos with all the red pigment sucked out. They're kind of translucent looking and ivory colored. I don't know. They're beautiful. So, yeah, snow. I think snow is a good one. Just to prove her out. And then if she does prove, you could do some calculated stuff. Start working some Moschino stuff in there. I know how you like those. Yeah. Or she's so genetically packed. The nice thing is you can put her to pure locality. And you're just going to make... I mean, who doesn't like Motley Tigers? What would that be? It'd be like almost 85%. Be like 80. Someone do the math. You know, 68.75 plus 100 divided by 2. So, yeah, it'd be crazy. 80, what is that, 84 something % Superdorf with Motley Tiger. Especially if you hit on an anery. If you could find, you know, Superdorf stuff that had anery lines, it would be hot. So, yeah. All right, cool. Next. What's up?
Alright, next question is, and guys, you can throw questions into the chat. We are going through and kind of mixing it up between what we got on the post and
he'll try to get to them if he can. If not,
we're not ignoring you.
Chat.
I'm reading everything, but just because of time constraints and how much Garrett
if you
likes
put
to
him in the
talk,
community chat, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
I'm saying you give well thought out answers that are
He's always
nothing
nice.
short
He's
of
always nice about his
comprehensive.
criticism.
It depends. Alright, so
Hey, honey.
let's go to Tristan Cowder again asking,
Tristan
do you
wants to
have
see
any
this.
interesting stories with wild retics when you lived in Indonesia? Any you can tell.
I mean, there's the story when I found out you can nibble on their tail. That was a cool one. Here's one for you, Tristan. Pure Tombalongan. We keep these ones on some drier substrate, so they're always getting dry sheds. I hate
Hold it
that
up a little
substrate.
bit closer.
Look at that. Yeah, okay, so in East Java, in kind of like the Batu region, Malang Batu, where I used to live, there was a guy, and he still had this up until fairly recent history, because I checked with him. At one point, when I worked at Prehistoric, Jay wanted to do a little, you know, expedition out there to go find this snake, but didn't really happen. So basically, you know, he claimed that it was equivalent of 24 feet long, and it was a monster retic. I've seen a number of giants. We used to work with Twinkie, who I think still holds the Guinness Book for biggest retic, and this snake's head was twice the size of her head. It was a monster. But yeah, I jumped in. It was me and 4 guys on our motorcycles, these big, like, German soccer players. And there was this scrawny little Indonesian guy that found it on a construction project. And they were clearing forest, you know, and they found this monster retic in East Java, which, I don't know, doesn't seem like a place to find a monster retic, but there she was. So I think when you get, like, freak gigantism or whatever, it's more about that than, like, locality averages. So he had like tarped her and basically made this cement pit, and he had a little thing, kind of like a little jar like this with money that travelers would come by and they'd put a little bit of money in to go in and see her. He built this little kind of like canopy tent over her and had her in this big cement pit. And once he got enough money, he would empty it out, and he said he would buy 30 chickens at a time and feed her once a month. So you can imagine the size of a snake that could eat 30 chickens. That's a lot. But I said, and it was like 50 cents or something like that to see her. And I was like, well, I'll give you $5 if you let me jump in with her. And he's like, you're going to die. And I was like, yeah, that's okay. I mean, those of you guys that know me, I have a rule that if a snake is cool enough or whatever, it's allowed to bite me. And at this point, I was young and dumb. I was Thomas's age. Do I need to say any more? And,
All right. Next question.
Anyway, I jumped in. She was all coiled up. You couldn't see her head, and I started moving coils. And she snapped up, and she struck at me, and I ended up catching her. Like, I caught her neck. But, and I was holding her face back because I had fingers in the corner of her mouth. And she's chewing up my fingers, but she's stretching at me. And her body started wrapping me up, and I'm screaming, Bantu, Bantu, help me, And my 4 big, giant guys that were my buddies screamed and ran away like little girls because, snake, it's eating our friend. They're just like, he's dead, we should save ourselves, And the little Indonesian guy jumped in there, and he picked up her tail, and he just went, and kind of chewed on it like corn on the cob, and I felt her whole body like shiver and drop loose, and I was able to get the coils off, and she still had one wrap around my hand, but I could kind of like, squeeze her off and drop her in there, and we closed it, and I was like, here's $50. So he was happy. She got to eat a lot of chickens and got even bigger. We had, he was claiming she was 24 feet, and I told Jay about it, and he's like, well, 24 feet would be a true monster. I don't know if there's anyone in here claiming to have 30-foot snakes. I know there are people who do, but 24 feet is a legitimate, I think that would be the actual biggest, like, real retic on record within recent history that wasn't measured from stretched skins at 32 feet in the jungle 100 years ago or whatever. But we went up, and I had my German buddy, we kind of gave him some tips on just doing like a loose string measurement, because we're like, we'll go buy that retic if she's that big, get her exported and bring her out for the zoo because she's long-term captive and everything else. And they stretched a string on her, and she was over 20 feet is what they said. So a legitimate 20-foot retic is a big deal. So, and they could only do so much because she was not super friendly. You could kind of move her from one place to the next and get in there a little bit. But they got her, he said she's definitely over 20 feet. So that was pretty cool. And that was, a buddy of mine who knows how to measure things.
All right, so
is that enough of a story? I don't have.
Oh, that was a great story. I don't know if I heard that
short
one.
stories. Oh, really?
I heard a lot of. I might have. I didn't remember it though.
That's why we do the bite the tail thing. Chew the tail.
And you can see that technique in What to Do If a Super Dog Bites You or a snake bites you.
You can watch one of our videos. It's funny. I was reading my kids. There's a book written by a Vietnamese guy during the war called "The Land I Lost." It's about his adventures growing up as a kid. And I was reading it to my kids just randomly. This was like this year. And they caught a python and wrapped him up, and he chewed on the tail. And I was like, no way, from Vietnam too. So that's got to be fairly common knowledge. I remember seeing another video of 2 Indonesian kids like in a river with a retic, and one of them had it was like a 8 or 9 foot retic wrapped around the waist of a little kid as they were messing with it, and another one chewed its tail. So I think it's common knowledge out there. Out here, I say it, and people are like, you're crazy, it's going to kill you. And I'm like, I don't know. It's how they do it where they live. So.
Super chat from Duran, visual variant. What's up, Duran?
What's up, Duran?
Duran says, in quotes, you are not allowed to buy any snakes while you're there. I don't care how much you love it and the deal Garrett will give you. End quote. My CFO, a.k.a. my fiance.
Fair enough. Hey, if you buy snakes, though, that's all on you. I'm not selling anything. So if you come out here and go check stuff out and go home with a snake, I can't help you.
We can wire it to offshore accounts.
The only thing that I recommend based on the long happy marriage is have a separate account for your snakes. That's all.
All right, so we got a couple people piping in the chat. Chip Indo says the only actual verified record retake 23 feet 2 inches.
Thank you.
It was in Sumatra.
Yeah, that's a monster. 23 feet is awesome. You know, people always talk about this 32-footer. It's like, come on, give me a break.
All right,
So,
and then
Chip seems like a guy that would know those kinds of things.
I'm gonna assume Justin / Jacqueline, Family Jewels.
Oh,
Love
yeah.
Garrett's story. So what's up? What's up, Justin and Jacqueline? And then Chip Indo says
Just realized I'm
24
shedding
would
this
have been the
snake out
biggest
before.
ever.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, shedding on live camera.
Yeah,
It's like
and
the
you know, I
ASMR
mean, like,
snake
if you
people.
could even get close, just anything over 20 is truly a monster. People love to say, my 20-foot retic this, my 20-foot retic that. And, yeah, they just don't get that big. You know what I mean? Very, very few retics will ever hit 20 feet. So if you can get something that's like 24 feet, I mean, that's like breaking an Olympic record, you know, by 15%. You know what I'm saying? Not a fraction of a second. It's pretty crazy.
All right, I'm going to go back to some of the questions we missed in the chat earlier. Am Fractals said, should retics have a variety in their diet? Chicks, quails, pigs, etc.
Yeah, why not? I think they have them in the wild. One thing I always wonder if we're shorting them on is a lot of the retics that I found when I did live in Indonesia were chilling in bat caves, and all the bats out there, they're not like our bats that are eating bugs. They're eating fruit bats. Yeah, or the retics are eating fruit bats. The bats are eating fruit. So I wonder, like, you think about all the vitamins and things like fresh. The bats were always taking down like papaya and mango and stuff like that. And the gut content that they must have had such an interesting. Like, I would love to see. You can go see feeders and they'll do like nutritional breakdowns on them. I would like to see. They have to grind them up, so that's a little bit gruesome. But go grind up a fruit bat and see what that sucker's made out of. I'd love to try to get a feed item that is similar to that because so many retics live on that. They're extremely, you know, hardy and they get along with a lot of different food sources. But, you know, I would rather err on the side of giving them too much than too little, wouldn't you guys? So, little variety. They love it. I'll tell you that. They really appreciate, you know, being able to like kind of track something different down and look at it and see how it's going. And I don't know if you guys notice how we're handling this snake. It's like not super gentle with her, just touching her all over the face and things like that. Richard, you know how to do this stuff. Checking her gums, giving her a shed. That's the way you end up with like friendly snakes. I don't know. Tom Belongans have kind of, you know, reputations for being ornery and being on you and stuff like this. And we're like manipulating this girl all over the place, and she's a perfect angel. It's because we always do it. Next question.
All right.
Did we get a super chat on the phone yet? We need a super chat on the phone.
I saw some text pop up, but
No
can't
super
read them
chats.
upside down. Hey guys, his number's in the chat. You can go back. You want to say it on camera again?
412-925-1933. Let's get your good dance.
All right.
Bring it
yeah,
on.
if you send in your super chat dances, we'll show them. Obviously, maybe muted, maybe not.
Yeah,
Depends how we're feeling.
we get demonetized sometimes.
And if you're feeling really nice, you can go to Epidemic Sound, get a free trial, and use non-monetized music.
No. You're making it complicated.
Yeah, that's
Next
what I figured.
question.
All right. Next
See what else we
question.
can pull out here.
Let's
Who do you
what
want to
we
see,
got.
Richard? Who should I pull out?
All right. We did have a couple suggestions for some snakes to pull out. Cody Shepard wanted to see any and all super tigers.
I barely have
Or
any.
Chris Carly Gear wants to see any babies from Clutch 31 and females left from Clutch 22.
Come on, Chris.
I don't know if Chris is in the
Ruthless
chat. He said he's
shopping.
gonna miss it, but he put it on the post. So
Yeah. Come on, man. From Clutch 31 and what? Any babies
the
left?
females from Clutch 22.
Oh, okay. Well, we have some. We have to bring them back.
Travis
later.
F says you should pull mine up.
Let's come around this way. Travis, yours is right here. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, this is definitely not a locality to glance over. F1 Kalatoa. It's from the Reed Streams. Clutch. Look at that little cutie. Travis, this sucker is ready to go, so get her shipped. Get him shipped. Look at that little guy. So cute. Little dude. He's got a lot of mascara on there. Or eyeliner. Let's go pull some of the Clutch 31 stuff everyone wants to see because they're not pictured on the website yet. Bring them around. What other questions you got, Thomas?
So if Cody
some
Shepard again asking if someone wanted to start a breeding project, what would you ask of them specifically? I think he means like a breeding loan. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. There's two ways to answer that. Here, watch the dead feeders in the tub there. You know, if someone's asking me about doing a breeding project, I want to ascertain what their goals are. You know, like, well, what are you trying to make money? Are you trying to make a cool snake? Do you have a certain passion project you want to pursue? Obviously, I need to know what kind of budget that you have and where you want to go with it. I mean, I can kind of figure out what you want and help you figure out a good way to get there. And if you guys just want to email us, it's just info@Out Reptiles. I'm more than happy. The way I see that stuff is like living vicariously through you guys. You know, I can't do every project that I want. So it's pretty cool to purple snow motley sun tiger. That's not right. It's a het snow. Let's see how she looks though. I love living vicariously through what you guys are able to do. Oh, this clutch is all in shed. They're fresh babies too, so they're gonna look ugly. There's a purple motley tiger that just looks like blah. Just looks like a pasty orange thing right now, but she actually has a lot of cool pattern and two-tone colors. Maybe she'll shed by the weekend for us. But if she's in shed, they're all gonna shed. We have some gorgeous
someone
stuff.
did say they wanted to see.
They're super in
Tom,
shed, guys.
I'm gonna mispronounce his last name. I'm just gonna call him Tom. Can I see that reg tiger? I will tattoo for him.
Annery, son. The regular tiger. I gotta find that one, man. Let me see which one was
It's
the
like
regular.
Pelletier is his last name?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I gotta see what clutch was that. Do you remember? I get too many people asking me too many questions. Which one was the regular tiger? I'll look. I believe it was like a clutch 13 or 14. What was the other one they wanted to see? Clutch 22?
Yeah. Clutch 22
Females. We have a couple of really nice purples. This is the one with the star on it that Rob never wants me to sell. But, oh my goodness, what happened to this sucker's pattern? Look at that. It's cool because this one's Kiowati, Kalatoa, and Champ. And, like, we've got that crazy zigzag line of Kiowatis, but it's usually really smooth on the Kiowatis. But this one's, like, super jagged. So it's, like, Kiowati pattern on, like, a Jamp, structure. It's just really cool. It's a beautiful animal. That's a purple het snow. This sucker's amazing. That's clutch 22, animal number 295. See the little star, Thomas? You know when they put a little star on there, that's like Rob saying, don't sell this one. I told him, you better hurry up and get it if you're going to get it. Let's see another purple from that clutch. You guys tell me what you like. When you get 3 localities like that, you really get a variety of looks. So this one is very high silver sides. They're 100% het snow, so this would make some really good snows. This should be like super bright green because it's pretty intense color, where it's not silver, but it's on a thin portion of the pattern. So if you want like little green highlights, come here, baby. So those are a couple of purples. I got a lab. There's some golden child stuff from this clutch. I think all my purple GCs girls are gone, but the lab GCs are not. See if I can find somebody who's looking good for camera today. Not. Here, look at this. Can you see the orange on here? Maybe we should jump to the other light. These are very orange. Remember I was saying that Kiowati is awesome to like cross into stuff. So, this pretty cool little live golden child. She definitely has some pattern on there. It's probably a little bit difficult to see on the camera. There you go. But intense oranges on this. Live feeds are really not the best place to show snakes. But the nice thing is when I show these and people buy them off the live feeds, they're very happy when their snakes show up. They're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how beautiful it was. I bought it on, kind of half speed. Male tiger. Did Tom tell you which one it is?
No.
What clutch was that one, Tom? What clutch was it? Let's see, males. It's not there. That's what's this? Not a tiger. It's a sick little dwarf golden child. Check this boy out.
Let's bring him over here.
Yeah, here's one that you don't see every day. This one's, is this 13 or 14? It's clutch 13, number 224. So these ones are like 31.25% Kalatoa. And I love when the pattern, the locality pattern, fights its way through really tight genes like the golden child. Look how cute this guy is. So he's a Posset Snow, which is pretty sick. Very affordably priced. I don't have my pricing in front of me, but I want to say he's like $600 or $700 for a dwarf golden child. Look at that line. So they got a cool line, doesn't it? Looks like our striped house snakes down the side. That's a lot of snake. Don't quote me on that price. But
yeah, it's like
yeah,
Walmart,
he's cute.
where if you misadvertise, they give you the discount.
Yeah, I don't know if this is exactly like Walmart. But that's going to be about an 8-foot snake, so about that big around as an adult. Pretty manageable. They're long and lean, so 8-foot snake is in the territory of some of the, like a coastal carpet or something like that. It'd be a cool one. All right. I don't know, Tom, I can't remember which tiger it was that I showed you. Also, our conversations happen like over the course of weeks, and a lot of times the options I'm showing you are sold by the time that we get back on it. So here is a male tiger from, this is probably it, from Clutch 11. So this is, I think the last 50% Kalatoa tiger. He's a Posset Snow too. So he's a super dwarf, not dwarf and super dwarf like the other one that was 31 Kalatoa and 25 Jamp. This one's 50% Kalatoa tiger. Good looking little guy. Look at the black. Really nice black considering that he's got that much Kalatoa in him. It's a good contrast. That'd be nice to breed down into smaller bloodlines. But that boy's sick.
So we do have a super chat video, but
no super chat.
There's got to be a super chat. I don't
Who
make the rules.
sent it? Who sent it in?
Hannah.
Oh, cool. Is that
Thanks,
from?
Hannah.
Yeah. Is that from Hannah Lillian?
Yes, I believe so.
Sweet. Okay, we're ready for it. Somebody shoot it to us. What's the next question while we wait?
All right, next question.
Here's a pretty snake.
Oh, with all the multiple heat
This
sources, this is from Tristan Cowder again.
Yep.
With all the multiple heat sources that you have, how do you manage all of your cords? And can you talk about preventing a fire?
Oh gosh. Well, the big thing is make sure that you install everything according to the manufacturer's recommendations. That's how you prevent a fire. And then zip tie your cords together somewhere. Just tie them in. So if you have cords I don't know, you can't really see a whole lot here, but everything will be zip tied. All the extra cord management is gone. Watch a few YouTube videos on how audio guys do it when they're setting up for concerts and things. Roll them up, zip tie them in place, make sure nothing moves, secure everything down. It's a good question. The biggest cause I think of heat tape is either loose fitting wires, or of fires is heat tape, and it'll either be the loose fitting wires because people are terrible at plugging those things up themselves. If you're not good at that, just go to Reptile Basics and they'll install it for you. Or people do dumb stuff like fold the heat tape or sandwiches in things. If you don't want to ever fold heat tape back on itself, you gotta be super careful if you're not allowing any airflow. People are I've done it fine for years. But those kinds of things can start fires in bad situations. Look at this beauty. Sick little Lannery Motley tiger.
Tom
She's not for sale.
Pelletier said female.
Female tiger. Oh, well, what clutch? What clutch? Help me find it, Tom. Help me find the female tiger. All right, next question. What's up?
All right. Oh, this is a fun
on?
one. Natalia says, unpopular opinions. Got any to share? Also, would it be interested to know what is something reptile related you've changed your mind about?
Okay. Unpopular opinion. I hear this one all the time. I disagree with it very much, so I think that I'm the unpopular one. People always say you can't feed a retic too much. How is that possible? You could feed anything too much. You could give it such a big meal that it dies in one meal. If you fed it constantly, it's going to be continually digesting stuff, You're not trying to feed it too little. It's not about controlling the size or keeping things small. The problem with super dwarfs is like, you know, people are always saying like, okay, I'm going to do the best I can to have the smallest possible retic. If that's the case, just buy the best genetics you can. Your goal should always be prime nutrition for the animal. You don't want them too fat. You don't want them too thin. So my unpopular opinion is, yes, you can feed a growing retic too much, just like you can feed it too little. You know, there's a healthy range. You can't say infinite amounts of food poured down the throat of an animal that will literally eat itself to death if alive, is that you can't feed it too much. You know, now if they're saying it as like a gross exaggeration, like if what they meant to say was, it's amazing how big of a meal one of those can take down, or, you know, when they're growing, they have incredibly fast metabolisms. That I can get on board with, but don't say it like you can't feed it too much, because it's a load of crock. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I actually get so upset about that one that I've reached out to a few people. I'm like, let's do some studies on the ill effects of overfeeding in snakes, aside from like the known obesity stuff, which I mean, I feel like people don't even can't recognize obese snakes a lot of times. But I want to know how, you know, specifically in a tested environment, you know, what is going wrong when you're overfeeding your snake. And I'd love to do get a whole write-up on that, because I just want to drop a little science thing. Go, here you go, stop saying that. And if I'm wrong, fine, I'll just feed them too much. That's great.
Evolution Exotics says, never caught a live from you before. Hope to get an SD from you soon.
Right on, man. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Yeah, the lives are fun. Let me know what you guys are doing.
And Hannah Lily said, you know Mindy.
Thanks for the super chat, Mindy. Mindy's Eyes Exotics. All right, looking for a tiger female.
Oh, okay. He said female tiger from 21013.
13, clutch 13. I thought it was that one. That's why I was over here. She might be done and done, buddy. That one might be gone by now. Clutch 13. Here's a platy tiger. Here's oh man, you're in luck. Okay, so here we go. Woo! Clutch 13. So this is the same clutch that little golden child came from. Dwarf and super dwarf. So here we've got the tiger. Let me see. I remember there was a specific platy tiger you were looking at. I think it was this one, I believe. Oh yeah, there she is. All right, clutch 13. Here it is. Tiger. These are sisters. So here's Tiger, 31.25% Kalatoa, and I think 25% Jam. Pretty sure. Might be a little bit off on those. They'll be close. And that's a platinum tiger. Woohoo! Tom likes to base his purchasing decisions on poor live feeds. Poor quality live feeds instead of high quality pictures. But it is nice to be able to see them cruise around too. So you get to see a lot more pattern that way. I guess if you compare both, you're good. But yeah, there's the tiger. You can see how much darker that is. And then the platinum tiger is already like very yellow for being this young. Nice stripe pattern on that one. These are pretty sick. Those of you guys who are like, oh, thanks, Tom, for the tip. I'm going to go scoop you now. This is clutch 13, so 21013. The platy tiger here is 238, and the normal tiger is 245. One thing that's fun, guys, if you go on reachoutreptiles.com, there's a 2021 breedings page. That's not all our available animals. It's just everything we've produced for the year. So we get a lot of requests for animals that are sold all the time. But it's cool. If you go look at this girl, 21045 from that clutch 13. And then this girl, 238. You can see we take those pictures after their first sheds. And now, you know, they hatch beginning of April. So now they're a few months in. They've had all time to color up and grow. It's kind of cool to watch them, see how much they've changed. Like if you look at how brilliant that platy tiger is already. It's hard to pick out in pictures sometimes. I mean, I think that's why a lot of people just say, hey, Garrett, here's my budget. Pick me the nicest one. I love doing that. I always do it. You know, that was one thing that at Prehistoric Pets, there was always like this pressure to keep the best ones and try to sell people on like uglier ones or something like that, so there would be easier sale later. And I get that from like a business perspective. I don't think there's anything like necessarily wrong with that, but I like to reward the people that just come in and they're great customers and like, how much is it? Here's the money. Thank you. That was an awesome transaction. And move on with life. So that's why we do the waiting list thing too. You know, if you want to get on a waiting list for something, we're like, here's the whole clutch. You want to look at it before anyone else gets picks, you know, and when we offer them up in the order that people got in there. So I have more fun with that.
All right, we got a question from Ethan Brown.
What's up,
Also,
Ethan?
do you want to move away from the mirror because I can see myself?
Oh, how
Alright,
cringy
we'll
is
stay
that
there.
as a
It's not too bad.
videographer?
It's not cringy. It's just, I just keep getting distracted. I'm like, oh, there's me.
Keep getting
Because
distracted.
well, as a
Right
videographer,
here.
you never want to catch yourself in a mirror. Live streaming
yeah.
doesn't matter.
It's like the little boom mic dropping in.
Exactly, same thing. It's the worst.
All right.
All right, so we got a question from Ethan Brown who says, I have to straighten this
quit
camera.
pushing. Get in there.
Ethan Brown says, would you ever want to get back into blood pythons? I remember seeing an older video that you had a big female.
I think it's the biggest female I've never seen, and no one's ever showed me one that was bigger than her. She was over 8 feet long. That's a monstrous blood python. Yeah, she lives at Cold Blooded Cafe. I love blood pythons. I don't think I would necessarily want to get back into breeding them. I love kind of like nice stuff. So I suppose if I was ever one day not feeling like I'm super overwhelmed and busy all the time, and I was like, you know, I need a little more chaos in my life, I'd probably hit up somebody like, you know, Matt Minatola comes to mind for like a Borneo short-tailed python. He's got a lot of crazy Borneo stuff. Frank Good's got some really nice red bloods and black bloods. There's so many cool people working with stuff out there that it's just like, yeah, maybe just have another giant trophy animal. I just had that girl. Her name was Danielle. Just because she was such a big, beautiful animal. You know, I just loved her. So I just had her, you know. And I realized she was just kind of sitting here. And if she was over there, she's been on Brian Barczyk's channel and a whole bunch of everybody that goes over there. She's like a popular favorite of the Zoo Dreams crowd. So she's got a lot of appreciation and love over there, which was kind of the idea.
All right, we got a question from Zach Bell. How long do your smaller tigers get?
Smaller tiger? I mean, like the Clutch 11 male tiger, you're looking at like, well, let me see if I can give you an adult size rep. I keep saying like sizes, but I might as well show you something. That Clutch 11 male that we had out earlier, probably gonna be, hey girly girl, come here. Ooh, about this size as an adult. Come here. So this is about 8 foot right here. 7 to 8 foot, I'd say. So if you can handle a snake that looks like this, I think that you could probably handle a little tiger like that. He's 50% Kalatoa. He's gonna get about this size. Nice small parents. If anyone remembers an old video, we did a time lapse. There's a little tiny female sitting behind like a glass Coke bottle, and she just looks incredibly small. I also have a picture of her from another year, like on her eggs, or I'm holding her in front of my old logo T-shirt. This is.
There we go.
There we go. Good thing we have a full-time video guy now.
Yeah.
7 to 8 foot. This is what you're looking at on males. You know, we have a lot of males that get that size, 50% Kalatoa around there. Some of our smaller dwarf lines, like that have Kalatoa in them, like probably that golden child I showed, is going to be about that size. So, pretty manageable.
All right, Blue Man Strat 15 says, "Hey, this is Wesley Hotz. How is my
What's
little
up,
guy
Wes?
doing? And could you pull him out?"
Oh man, everybody likes that.
Well, this is the snake part of this.
Show me mine. Show me mine. You guys are as bad as Thomas checking himself in the mirror in the live stream. It's
Oh my.
vanity, vanity, vanity. Just kidding.
Also, in the meantime, Ethan Brown
blah, blah,
says,
blah.
"I didn't realize she was that big. That's awesome." I think referring to the blood python. I'm trying to get on a
yeah.
wait list for the next time Cusco breeds sangria.
Oh yeah, they're cool. They're such weird snakes. Where is Wesley's snake? I gotta find yours, Wesley. We're a little organized. Wesley Hotz. Hold on, we gotta go shopping. Let's go shopping through the racks here. No, that's one of Jordan's new ones. I'll leave it there. There we go. Here we go. Sun Tiger boy. Oh, somebody just shed. Remember I said that whole clutch was in blue? Not yours, Wesley. He was waiting for you. Look who just shed out. Hee hee. Superdorf Sun Tiger Het Snow. Oh, buddy, look at the orange. And We got some nice sunfires in this clutch. This is from the Clutch 31 stuff. Isn't that guy cute? So they're 100% het purple and anery. 50% Calatoa, and then there's like, let me see, 6.25% Jamp, if you really care. I don't know. That's not enough to probably make any difference, 6.25% Jamp. I mean, maybe on the occasional baby it'll look a little jampy. But we put the numbers in there because we know the numbers. So might as well pass that stuff on, right? It's pretty cool.
All right, Jacob Civil Serpents Ledbetter says, "What's up, Garrett? Got to meet you at MJ's this weekend. The barbecue was a blast."
Oh man, that was good times. Yeah, it was really good to meet you. So
video coming out this Friday.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you guys have to come back on Friday. Boy, what a crazy trip that was, huh? Oh my gosh, so much stuff happened that weekend. It was nuts. We got a few videos out of it, I think, but that was crazy. Thomas had his first herping trip, which was like, I can't think of a more epic way. The results, maybe not so much, but I don't even know that it mattered given the company, right?
No, it was just cool to hang out with them.
Yeah, so that was
with Jeff Lem.
Yeah, Jeff and Garrett Lem.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, Jeff is like herper extraordinaire. He literally wrote the field guide for San Diego on all the herps, and he took us to all his secret spots and stuff like that. It was incredible. It was a terrible time to go herping, but he still managed to turn a few interesting animals up. We had a good time, so it was pretty cool.
Yep, he did mention once or a lot of times that it was a drought year, so.
I think he was feeling
bad about the
He's
fact
like,
he couldn't give us the full.
Why do you guys
he said
come
we're gonna
visit?
have to come back, and I was like, listen, man.
Hey, he said he's a fisherman too. He said he was slaying on fishing, and he cooked us up some awesome
fish tacos.
rockfish tacos.
Oh my word.
So, shout out to Jeff. I know you're not watching, but that's okay. I like the tacos anyways.
Hey, never say never.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right,
we'll see.
Blue Man Strat says awesome.
Whew.
Thanks for pulling them out. And then
You're
Tom
welcome.
Pelletier. Am I saying his name right?
I think so.
All right.
Pelletier?
Pelletier.
Is it
It
Pelletier?
says full-sized eagle tattoo on your chest. Sounds like a deal for one of those girls.
You know I have 0 tattoos, right? So I don't know if that's like super tempting or not. How about like 30 Reach Out Reptiles small logo tattoos on all my friends? That would entertain me to no end. Thomas needs 2 of them. 1 under each eye.
Oh, man.
Check this guy out. This is underrated. We've got a clutch of these guys. These are Calatoa het genetic stripes. This is our holdback Sunfire. We kept him because of that thick black. Looks a lot like that tiger. When you mix Calatoa in, a lot of times it reduces that pattern, and so we'll see how it goes. I think it'll be really easy to make it thin and chaotic like the parts of him that look Calatoa. But these should be the first like legit Calatoa het genetic stripe stuff anywhere, and Yin's guys are sleeping on these because we still have some. You know, we went through our waiting list. It was awesome. We sold a few up, but there are some awesome Sunfire het genetic stripes and normal wild type het genetic stripes. They're Posset albino. Well, kind of Posset albino. Their mom is a Posset albino. But super dwarf genetic stripes. That's a cool recessive mutation. Really never been made in super dwarfs. Certainly never. It might have been like made once upon a time. I remember seeing like a picture that said super dwarf, but I don't know the details on it. And it was like 20 years ago. Never heard from them again. So I got a whole clutch of those suckers. I think the Sunfire males are sold out, but I believe we do have maybe 1 Sunfire het genetic stripe female left and some wild types. Wouldn't it be cool? We try to use a line that may contain anery, just in case we accidentally made snow stripes or even just anery G stripes. That would be sick.
All right, so we got 7 minutes, so we got
Let's
time
hear
for
it.
a couple more questions. Also, do you want to talk about what's going on this weekend?
Hold on, we got no, we're not gonna talk about that.
All right. I guess you'll see it in a couple weeks' video.
Yeah, you guys gonna have to watch if you don't already know what's going on with this weekend. Sorry, maybe we can catch you on the next one. I got Hannah's super chat sitting in here.
But I will just play it for one of them.
No. We're gonna get a super chat. You
All
need
right,
7 minutes.
minutes
I
to
have
get a
faith.
super chat.
That's cool.
In the meantime, Ethan Brown says, "What's your favorite clutch you produced this year and why?"
Favorite clutch this year? Madus. Because Madus. You know. Gotta go with that. You have to, right? So, I mean, yeah, they were back in February. So that's the reason why is because we work with 7 localities up until I produced 5 of them in 2020. 5 different localities, which was sick. And then in 2021, we got Madus, which was the 6th locality. First time they've been produced in a long, long time. So trying to bring some of those different exotic crosses back. So it's got to be that. First time we produced Madus. First time anybody in the U.S. in about a decade. So. Yeah.
All right. Jacqueline finally hopped in under Family Jewels. She said,
What's
just
up,
popping in to
Jacqueline?
say hi. I need to make it to another show you're vending so I can hold all the pretty babies. Maybe run into another rainstorm.
That was
next
good
time,
times. That was
Jacqueline.
good times.
And then Anna Kevlin says,
What's up,
better late
Anna?
than never. So welcome.
Hi, Anna. How you doing? So for those of you guys that don't know, I'm sitting on a super chat dance from Hannah Lily. You got some interesting things in the background in your garage here, but you guys won't get to see them unless you
All
super
Zoic
chat.
Reptiles coming in clutch. Play the video.
All right, here it is. Here it is. Oh, they got the kids with the super chats. We got a whole super chat army on here. Wow, I feel like I'm watching like a what's that? Teletubbies. This is like watching a Teletubbies show. This is where we're at on the live streams here in Reach Out Reptiles now, guys. Full on Teletubbies.
I'll have some royalty-free music to play next time. It'll be like our stock background music.
Beautiful.
Oh, Hannah Lily. Super
Beautiful.
Chat. How's my phantom girl doing? Is her face healed?
Hannah. Phantom female? Oh, nobody got phantom females. Oh, yeah, you did. Right, that's true. Oh, she's got a dry shed on her. These sheds, man. She's got a dry shed on her, so it means she went through a shed. So this is kind of this is an interesting side effect that we have found, guys, with these freedom breeders and the retics. Ultimately I want to build like kind of a tall enclosure. Well, you guys already know the whole story. We had them prototype these ones, but one thing that they do is they rub across the top of their head. And so what you can see here, baby girl, look.
Bring it closer.
See that little?
Oh man, we're losing the camera.
See that little like rub above her eye? Just kind of hold it very still so you can see. So she just had a shed. It's all healed up, but she's still got a little gap right there, the skin that needs to heal over with scales. So that's cool though. Rob will be soaking her tomorrow. She'll be feeling fine. Get one more shed in there. I think she'll be good to go. I mean, she's good to go now, healthy wise, but I want to, I want to be perfect. But yeah, so what happens with these freedom breeders, just a little insider tip. I do like them. They are easy to clean, all that stuff. And, really for us, we're keeping, these are adult ball python breeder size tubs. And we are putting our baby retics in them. And we're just like way too crowded right now. But they have these vents, which are still, I think, the best vents that are out there. But the retics push and they end up like kind of, you can hear the cheese grater effect on there, and they get like weird like rub spots, it's from non-pushing retics, but they're just kind of like, I mean, you can see them when we are out here and everyone's like, what's up, you gonna give me some food, and when they do that, they just kind of graze across the top of their head, and if they get a little scab and it tears off, it makes a spot, and that drives me crazy. So we have to figure something out with that, aren't we? Anyways, here's what we're going to do. If we didn't get to your question, we are going to drop a community tab. So you have to go on Reach Out Reptiles on our YouTube page. Click the community. Sometimes you can find them in your live feed if you did the notification. Thank you guys for joining us, by the way. If you guys hit like on there right now, anybody that's on there, that would be awesome.
Oh, quick to interrupt.
It.
Anthony Bautista says, how much do Phantom Superdorfs go for?
We have very few in stock right now.
Info at reachreptiles.com.
Yeah, you're gonna have to hit it up. I mean, they would range in general from like 1,500 for a cheap lower end, single gene male, all the way up to whatever. I mean, we've got up to 87.5% Superdorf Phantoms. So, yeah, multi-gene stuff like that. It's gonna go. I think the one that we have available right now is like $4,500. So, and it's a Sun Platy Phantom, Posset Anner. It's pretty sick. Good looking animal. But anyway, we'll catch you guys next time. If we didn't answer your question here, make sure that you drop your questions in those community chats so we can catch you next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern.